Welcome into the Ringiverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. We are Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You've got questions, he's got answers. Old man Van, here, the receding resurgent hairline. Coke, Baby, Chuck, the 24-karat closer, a.k.a. the brunch hottie. Together, we are known as the Midnight Boys. Also socials, Insta, where we are cooking right now.
With gas.
Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Jomi.
Oh, dude.
The job has been saved at this point.
I don't know.
The job has been saved at this point.
A lot of game left, but that Arthur clip is going crazy, dog.
That's feeding families.
Brother, like what, 1.2 million views as we currently go right now? That does not happen for clips like that. Appreciate y'all for supporting and liking, man. Y'all locked in. Love y'all.
If you love the Midnight Boys, share it with your friends. Things are going good over here with the Midnight Boys. Continue to share it with your friends. We appreciate the support and the love for everyone.
Yeah.
Especially some of the support and the love from some people.
Yes.
Who I've known for a while, but that now know all of my homies.
Oh, yeah.
And that really matter
that's
in
a
the
great,
culture.
it's a great
and for
thing.
the future love that you're about to set up.
Okay, got you. I got you.
Yeah.
You keep talking about that.
Keep talking, please.
You fucking around.
Put a young Negro on.
Talked this morning. I was like, the homies is coming at me.
Right?
How many?
Oh, man, that's got to be a lot.
A lot.
You want to know who's the
Understandably
most ain't
so.
shit of all of us? We was talking about before you got here.
Whispered
You know how
tones.
Kerm never comes out of the booth.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
He's like a clip dropped. I'm like, not that type of clip, Kerm.
Yeah.
You fucking horny motherfucker.
Kern, we gotta talk about
Write another poem about it.
Well, on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share. You can watch every Midnight Boys and House of Art episode on youtube.com/@Ringiverse and also Spotify. Okay. But on today's show, we got a special movie edition, the Movie Boys, because we had to give you guys our take on the most talked about, the most well-reviewed, the most buzzed about film in theaters right now, Ryan Coogler's Sinners. That arrives today in theaters. We've all seen it, and we're ready to talk about it. Okay. This is actually important.
Okay.
We will be spoiling Sinners in this podcast today.
Yes.
Now, this is different than the usual animus I have for the spoiler warning.
Okay.
Normally, I get pissed off when it's time to talk about spoilers for shit like Superman. Newsflash, Krypton blows up. Okay? All right? This is different, though. There's a lot of twists and turns and very important things to learn in this movie. If you have not seen Sinners, this will probably not be a podcast for you. And the movie is so great to me, just to let you guys know, that I don't want you to ruin the film for you right now until you've listened, until you've watched it.
Pause the podcast now, get you a ticket.
Yeah, I think we can safely say we all recommend this movie.
See it and then come back and put the
It's
podcast
good.
back.
It's great. We all had a great time watching it, but you will not get the full experience unless you watch it for yourself.
Right. So roll the spoiler warning. Most weeks, don't pay attention. This time, pay attention. We're getting ready to talk about Sinners. You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, Chuck is going to bring you the Midnight Manifest.
All right, this is your Midnight Manifest for Sinners, directed and written by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Caton, Jack O'Connell, Wumi Masaku, Jamie Lawson, Omar Miller, Buddy Guy, and Delroy Lindo. We start with two twins and World War I veterans, Smoke and Stack, who return to their home in the Mississippi Delta to open a juke joint using funds they made ripping off Chicago gangsters. The brothers buy a sawmill from a Klan-affiliated man known as Hogwood, where they plan to throw their first party. Smoke and Stack then recruit their cousin Sammy and Delta Slim to perform the blues, along with Smoke's witchy lover Annie, cute singer Perline, and Chinese immigrants Grace and Bo. Trouble begins when Stack's old flame Mary, a passing white woman, arrives at the juke joint wanting to rekindle her flame with Stack. When When a trio of white vampires arrive on the Duke's doorstep, Annie turns them away, sensing something malevolent. So instead, the vampiric leader Remnick turns Mary, who infiltrates the party and bites Stack, also turning him into a vampire. All hell breaks loose as the partygoers leave the sawmill and run right into the vampire's arms. From there, Smoke, Sammy, Delta, Annie, Perline, and Grace wage a war against the vampire horde. Smoke and Sammy are the only two to make it out alive, with Sammy leaving his church background to follow his love for the blues, and Smoke mowing down Hogwood and his clan buddies before reuniting with Annie and their daughter in the afterlife. But in an after-credits scene, it's revealed that Smoke allowed his brother to escape with his light-skinned lover, and that has been your Midnight Manifest. And we're not going to bullshit. Van, gut reaction after you walk out of the theaters seeing Sinners.
This is why we do it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The reason why we do it, and when I say we, I mean the reason why we tell stories is to deepen knowledge and understanding of cultural celebration, of human frailty, and to communicate emotionally with one another. Now, Sinners is not a Nobel Prize winning effort, and it's also not a perfect movie. But what it is a complete piece of inspiration on screen, from the music to the performances, to the setting, to the backstory and biography of the individual pieces of culture that exists in the movie. It is an achievement.
I mean, I think the reason that I love this movie so much is I think it's so, we don't think of Black directors, at least in the modern incarnations of the last decade or so, with being able to deliver this type of blockbuster. Not because they can't, but because I don't think enough of them get an opportunity, or when they get the opportunity, various things happen. And I think what I realized with Sinners is that this is a beautiful movie. It's shot incredibly. There's so many important themes. But when I was sitting in there, it reminded me being a kid in the 90s, the early 2000s, and having just a big movie that hits you in the gut emotionally. Michael B. Jordan beat the allegations. This nigga is like not only a star, but he was acting his ass off. It was just incredible, like seeing more than two, but like seeing these Black creators be able to put a blockbuster of this scale on the screen and nail it. I was blown away.
You know what? There's also something else here. And we're going to talk about the individual pieces of the movie. We're going to talk about first Michael B. Jordan's performance. But before we even get into breaking the film down, a lot of times this movie in a way is an indictment of filmmaking. All right. Because what we're told a lot of times is that you can't commit to one thing too much lest you lose something else. You can't commit to story that much, because if you commit to story, then your action suffers. You can't commit to visuals too much, because if you commit to visuals, then your performances suffer. I think the thing about Ryan Coogler, who probably already is, we talked about it a little bit on the Big Pick, probably already is, movie for movie, the most commercially successful Black director ever, right? He makes films that are just steeped in culture, but at the same time are accessible for everyone.
I would even say not just a Black director of his generation. When you think of directors in that age gap, when we think of like Black blockbuster directors, like, can you name me someone else who has the resume of a Fruitvale Station, Creed, 2 Black Panthers, now Sinners, all critically acclaimed, all made so much money at the box? Like, I don't know, white director, I don't know who's really operating on that type of level with that level of consistency.
And the reason why that's important to say is because you can have it all. You just have to care.
Yeah.
Listening to him describe, and we talked about it a little bit on the podcast, listening to him describe how intentional he was about the visual of the film, how intentional he was about how he wanted you to watch the film, just tells you that he's doing what he loves. He's going to take some chances. He's going to take some big swings. Some of them are going to be singles. Some of them are going to be home runs. There are going to be some doubles in there. But you're going to get a full ball game when you go home, you watch a Ryan Coogler movie. Mint Boys. Now, I was with Jomi in the theater.
Oh, you were?
Jomi came to watch the movie at the Grove, and I know that Jomi was bricked up.
Was it a little awkward?
I mean,
so I know that he was bricked up.
Sure.
So I'm gonna turn it over to the men boys, but Jomi, if there are things about the movie that you can't remember because Haley Steinfeld said, "Are you gonna be able to steal this pussy from one night?" Are there things that you can't remember?
We don't talk about that line.
If there's things that you can't remember, that's okay.
No.
We know you was bricked up.
I mean, come on. I mean, Perlene. I mean, come on, man.
You was bricked up. You was double bricked up. You was interracial bricked up. You was bricked up like you was white and black.
To show me some bail. I'm a milk merchant, man.
Wow.
To me, Perlene was the. You know what? Aleya's gonna be so disappointed.
Aleya's not here at the moment.
Aleya's not here.
I know. But
and we can't let her down.
But we talked about how great Michael B. Jordan was. We talked about how amazing Ryan Coogler was, and then we went to how fine Perlene and
we
Mary
not
were.
shit.
All right, it's cool. Go ahead, let's go. Bit boys, what y'all got?
You talk about Ryan Coogler, and I think the thought for me was just it's an achievement with intent and storytelling. Because coming in, I'm thinking this is a movie about vampires, and this is a movie about, it's gonna be a horror film, and it is those things, but it's really a movie about music and how that can change your life, and how that inspiration can make you do things that you normally thought you wouldn't be able to do. And the movie starts with Sammy, right? The movie ends with Sam. Like the whole thing was just something that I was not expecting going into the film, but as I'm walking out, I'm like, wow. Just an absolute achievement of surprising me, but at the same time letting me know that, oh, this is something that is not only like familiar, but it's something that we haven't seen in movies in a minute. Just Ryan Coogler's intention of making you feel like this is something that is new, but also something that you've seen before, is just honestly like incredible.
With every Ryan Coogler movie that I see, I'm reminded about the importance of giving a shit. And it was some advice that I got from somebody about like if I were to start like work in a creative space, like your technical ability and your artistic intent and all of these things can be measured in very deliberate and specific ways that people think can be good or bad. But if you really give a shit, it shows.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody else that gives more of a shit than Ryan Coogler about the movies that he makes. Filled with intention, filled with purpose, filled with like kind of every 4 quadrant that you could hope for in a movie that he is aware of, that he puts on the screen for you. And even if you don't rock with it 100%, you rock with his intention and his vision. And the fact that he gives a shit with all of those things really shows like the most with this movie. I think this might be his best movie.
So the movie it's interesting. It's grounded by the character of Sammy, aka Preacher Boy. That's what grounds the movie. The movie is elevated and oriented by the performance of Michael B. Jordan as Smoke and Stack.
Yes. Were you surprised that, because I was worried when I realized that this was a twin movie, I was like, it's really difficult for one actor to play twins. And at first it was a little jarring. I'm like, can Michael B. Jordan do this? And honestly, it took like 15 or 20 minutes and I was in. I was just like, okay.
So this is the most interesting part of it for me. Coogler, through the characters of Smoke and Stack, deconstructed the movie star of Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He let Michael B. Jordan be the womanizing, hyper charismatic, hyper masculine, smooth talking pimp in one performance. And in the other performance, he let him be a man that is brooding, hurting, seeking something deeper, but completely ruthless and unflinching.
And I didn't know that Michael B. had that in it. Like that more quiet, simmering performance. I was like, oh, Coogler unlocked something in Michael B. Jordan that I wasn't expecting.
Mike's been doing it for a long, long time, and it's what he's capable of as a performer. We've seen it. We saw it in Fruitvale.
Mhm.
We saw it as Killmonger. But once again, when you are locked in with a director and a writer who knows who you are, they can bring the best out of you.
There's like a couple of directors and actors, even in like smaller scale things that you might not notice, that they often collaborate, and it's because they know exactly how to use them, and they know where their strengths are, and they know exactly where they excel. Coogler and Jordan, obviously, for the years that they've been working together, they know their strengths, and I think that the first time that he can use the instrument that is Michael in an actor that he is shown to be, this is probably like a violin player playing an elegant piece on in a symphony. Like this is the best use of his instrument so far. Like,
all right.
What?
No, I'm sorry.
Go for it. Say it.
No, you went this way. I thought because he said playing instrument, I thought you were going to be inappropriate just because that's what you do.
Well, I'll be inappropriate. I think the best. Here's the thing. I know we're being all respectful because this is a very important film, but I appreciate at the halfway mark of this fucking movie, I was just like, don't tell me this nigga just made a Don't Invite White People to Cookout movie. Because when the 3 vampires show up and they trying to convince, they just like, hey, yo, let us in.
Hey, listen, they were making. When I was hearing their little Peter, Paul, and Mary side, I was like, I don't know. They were having, they were cutting up too.
I was like, keep them white people out.
That was only you.
It's a great time. I'm gonna say this. Maybe not. We picking Robin's Bones or whatever. By the way, fucking what a crazy weird ass song.
That was a beautiful.
But
rendition of the song.
When they were doing the Irish jig joint,
that was crazy. That was great.
Hold on. That part, the little we gonna pick Robin's bones clean when they come to the thing. I'm like,
very sweet.
They weird, and they do. I'm like, I'm not fucking with that. But when they was in the Irish jig,
doing the river dance,
dancing around and doing
no.
I like that river dance shit.
When Stag,
I fuck with the river dance.
Was it Stag dancing with Haley?
Everybody and Omar right there like, oh shit, like the vampires is having a good time. I mean, by the way, there are messages in the movie though, and they're not heavy-handed. But there are messages in the movie like, I want your gifts. I need your gifts. I need what you do in order to help me. And I need everyone to assimilate to what I am. Those messages might not be top of mind in the movie, but they are there.
And it's actually very masterful the way that movie does it, because the offer that Jack O'Connell's character really makes is a bid or an appeal to community. An appeal to like, know that like the world that you're in, like you've been lied to. Like I see all these memories and I see how this town has been fucking you guys over. Like you're not even, like the mill that you're in isn't even like your property. It's a killing floor that they're just going to kill you in a week from now because you're on their land. Like that you just happened to sell them or to buy off of them. Yeah. And it's like, it's this wonderful thing of like making an appealing and enticing and seductive like bid to your community and sense of self in order for your own self-preservation. It's sold in a very attractive way, but it's
asking you to become something else.
Exactly.
Asking you to become subhuman in order to access something that you don't have.
Right.
Which is oftentimes a choice that if you are from a community that doesn't have access is what you're asked to do.
Yeah.
You're asked to become a weapon. You're asked to become a mark. You're asked to be something less than what you are, less than a part of your community, to rise with something else. And everybody over there seems like-minded.
I mean, Smoke, I think the genius of like the Smoke character is he's already dead. Like he's already, like he has given himself over to money and ruthlessness. And he's seen World War I. He's seen this racism. He's gone to Chicago. And the relationship that he has with Preacher Boy, both Michael B. Jordan's characters have with Preacher Boy, is seeing this individual who still has a level of innocence, still has talent, can still use his art and his music to connect people, but also to escape. And like, see, like there's this heartbreak on Smoke's face being like, you don't want to be here. You don't need to be in this juke joint. You don't want money, all of this. You don't want to cross over this. Yeah. And I, to your point, I'm like, there's all those little threads in the movie. And I think most directors would have been very heavy-handed with a bunch of that. And this is just like, you could just watch it as an action film. And then when you get home, you're like, oh, shit, that's what they was trying to do.
You can watch it as a horror movie. You can watch it as an action film. You can watch it as a musical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think, we've glazed Michael B. Jordan. We talked about Jack O'Connell.
Glazed.
That's a lot of glaze.
That's not glazed.
That's
though.
not glazing.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Glazing is retiring somebody's number when they have
Right. Yeah. No,
they
that's
haven't played for your franchise.
Yeah, when they have like a 10-7, that's glazed. But we haven't glazed. He was good in the movie, and we're talking about why.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Did he beat? So Michael B. Jordan beat the allegations. I feel like a
I
lot of
always thought
people.
Michael B. Jordan was a competent and good and a good actor.
I feel like people were
People were having
throwing
questions.
shots.
Yeah, people were trying to throw
Sure,
shots.
people throw
People
shots.
just been throwing shots at Michael B.
I think you
Yeah.
definitely quiet the noise after this. They definitely quiet the noise.
Right.
Like there's no there's no room for conversation. I think what he did as Smoke and Stack in this movie, to your point, dividing like the personalities that we see in Michael B. Jordan performances, having those two monoliths of him go out there and just be excellent for 2.5 hours was incredible. He was great. Jack O'Connell was great, but I think the two people who we got to talk about next are Miles Catton as Sammy
That's not where I thought you were going.
Oh,
and Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim.
Oh, Delroy was killing it.
Because
Delroy
there are
was
two
awesome
opposite
in this.
ends of the spectrum where we've seen Delroy in a lot of stuff. We know his caliber. We know what he
Mhm.
can do. And even in this movie, like him as a comedic relief was just excellent.
When
Like,
he
every
tastes the
single
Irish
line.
beer, he's like,
But then he still has that moment, remember, in the car when he's talking about his homie who
Mhm.
flashed that bread when he didn't have to and got, and you're sitting in the theater like, yo, that was crazy. And then later in the movie, I think I shit myself.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you cracking up. And then Miles, we haven't seen him before. in
This is
any-
his first
movie.
It's his first role, and he carries the movie. He is the heart of the film from literally the first scene till we see him in the car driving off at the end of the movie.
Beautiful singing voice too. Beautiful singing voice.
He can actually play the guitar for
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Like he
he was on tour with her. Like he
Mhm.
was yeah.
that
He
guy.
represents the innocence
Mhm.
of the film, whether or not that innocence is corruptible, which Smoke and Stack have two different opinions on that.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Smoke is a protector, Stack is a pimp. So Stack wants you to show your ass so you can get that money.
Yeah.
Smoke wants you to protect the things that are going to be long lasting, like in your life, right?
Yeah.
And so those two things are pulling on him. And then the decision he makes at the end of the movie is just for himself.
Yeah.
Right.
It's for himself. It's for freedom. It's for expression. It's for himself. But he even doesn't know at that point that Smoke has been protecting him his entire life.
Right.
yeah. I mean, but that's why I love that performance in the story because, like, Smoke, there's this thing about him where even when he goes back with Annie and he's like near the grave, you're just like, oh, he's lost so much. And he's such a broken man. And to see him almost transform into an action hero, I thought the movie was over. And then when they go back and he's mowing down the clan members, I was like, yo, this is it was electric.
Yeah,
but-
it was. It really is having his cake and eating it too, and earning every bit of that cake.
But even that though, that right there was so that he could die.
Yeah.
He takes the mojo off
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want to live in a world without his brother. He don't want to live in a world without the family of people that he had made.
Mhm.
He had survived. It was over. He could have gotten his car and he could have left.
Mm-hmm.
But he made the decision to take the mojo off and to rid the world of the remaining evil that was around there before he said goodbye.
I have a question.
Then why'd he let his brother live?
Why
So
did
that
he? I mean, he just couldn't kill him.
Yeah. He could have killed him.
I mean, he just couldn't kill him.
I mean, but the evil's still there.
No. He can't look at his brother as evil.
Yeah.
He just couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
The evil that he's talking about, I mean, he essentially took the clan on because he knew if it was 1v20 that he was going to get killed.
And he assigns a bit of righteousness to his brother to be like, "Hey, leave Preacher Boy alone
I have a
for the
question.
rest of his life."
If you kill 20 people, even if they clan members, do you still go to heaven?
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
I mean,
this.
I don't
If
know if you-
I'll tell you this. If
yeah,
I see
not-
my wife and baby in whatever afterlife I'm in, I'm happy.
Mm.
How about that?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you probably, I mean, we frown upon it. You're not supposed to kill. But at the same time, they was about
They
to
was
kill.
clan members?
By the rules of the Old Testament, let's not get into midnight.
Well, I don't know if we're getting
Oh, my question- I have a question for
Midnight Heaven
Jomi,
math.
though.
Midnight Sunday school?
Jomi, be real.
What's up?
You let Mary into the function.
Yeah.
Bro, this movie's 10 minutes long if he stars in this.
Are you
This
letting
movie's
Mary
10
into
minutes
the?
long.
Because here's the thing.
Break up.
My man Stack was trying to front on her at the train station. I'm like, you in love, bro.
Stop. He's like, are you sure?
Crazy, man. Bro, Stack was like, when she was talking, he was, hey, keep your voice down, man. People can be hearing this, bro. Meanwhile, flash forward 45 minutes later, they're at the joint, and he's just all up on her, man. I mean, obviously, yeah, she's getting in. That's not a question. It's like, it's the most obvious thing. If Omar Miller's at the door, like, I don't know if you get it. I'm like, nigga, if you don't, bro, I ain't let her in, bro. Come on, listen.
Why are you shaking your head, man?
Why are you shaking your head?
Because, man, it was dangerous. See, that just shows you how Jomi is. The reason why they wasn't letting her up in there is because if the wrong person saw her in there, they come in there and they kill everybody.
Yeah.
Jomi don't care about
Sometimes
that.
We gonna
you gotta
have to
make a
cut
call.
This, but
Sometimes you
there's nothing like the wrong white girl showing up to a party with black. I'm like, it's about to get fucking ghetto. She about to say some shit. So I'm like, people gonna get. I was like,
I always like that type of
Oh, no.
we used to be at the party and like somebody, three sisters, like, okay, so this wouldn't happen at parties at Southern, right? Because at parties at Southern, we all black.
Mhm.
But if you went to a black party on LSU's campus, it would be some white people there a lot of times. It was sometimes, and sometimes in the crew of black girls at LSU, they might have a white friend that's in the dorms with them or something like that. She come through with her hair braided or whatever.
Oh, no.
And then she walk in and you like, oh shit, I can't wait to see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, because she gonna get drunk and then all of a sudden she gonna try to drop down and get an eagle on. She gonna fall. She gonna spill something. And the niggas from the north side, they don't know.
wait, what's the Drake line on Take Care?
Oh,
When a white girl says nigga, and you think we
I
gonna
hope no
be
one
in some
heard
trouble?
I'm telling you,
I hope no one heard.
it had happened before, or that you know, that cheeky black come on or some of that shit like that. The whole talking that shit, and all of a sudden the nigga come out. Her friends are cool with the nigga. The other people not cool with the nigga. It's crazy. I always like that. I always like the wrong white person in any situation. How is this gonna get fucked up? You want
to incite chaos, or you just want to see what?
I love the chaos.
I just watch to see, because they are going to fuck up.
Right.
Yeah.
I just watch to see. By the way, not only are they gonna fuck up, they have less of a margin for error because so many people don't want them there.
Yeah.
So you come in there and you step on the run. Man, who is this? And then, oh my God.
The leash is so short.
It is a fascinating social experiment, though, because you're just like waiting for that.
What I loved was eventually it's going to be a Jomi in the party, right?
Yup.
And he going to talk to her. And if there's a sister in there that's not with that, that's when they start doing the thing.
That's when trouble starts.
We can get off this. I love it when there would always be one sister at the party that would talk loud so that the white girl could hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But not directly to her. Like, we came up in this bitch to hang out with the Kappas. We didn't know it was gonna be white bitches in this motherfucker. And I'm like, oh shit, she talking to you.
Wait,
man, you're an asshole.
You're the instigator.
Yeah.
You're the instigator at the party.
Yes.
Hey.
Brittany, she's talking.
She talking to you, man. Is now another white bitch in here?
You finna let that slide? That disrespect? That's crazy.
Hey, she over here fucking with your girls, man. Your girl Brittany, she in trouble.
But here's the thing with Mary. The minute she was like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna go talk to the white people," I'm like, "All right, it's about to get fucked up."
Well, I mean, that's also on Stack. Yeah, it's also on Stack, man.
Yeah.
Trying to chase that bread, bro. Like, hey.
Stack did nothing wrong. Stack
Setting
is
her outside.
Stack is a real lover boy. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to protect her. I'm with Stack.
Nah, I mean, he gave her the gun, but like, he was the one. They were like, "Yo, I'm trying to go outside and get this money." You didn't have to do that.
You know what the important part about all of this is? There's plot utility here.
Yeah.
So all of this is, okay, so think about what we learned. This is what I love about story. We learned that in Smoke and Stack coming back and trying to do something for the people in their community, that there are problems. This isn't Chicago. So in Chicago, if you opened up a juke joint, people are going to come play with American money.
Yep.
Here, though, the legacy of slavery lives on. So you can actually like live a life just being paid in plantation credits.
Yeah.
Those plantation credits are only meant to be spent at those plantation general stores, right? Which essentially keeps you dependent on that plantation, which means you're not accumulating wealth.
No.
And if you don't accumulate wealth, the rest of your community won't accumulate wealth. Because when you go somewhere else to spend money inside of your community, it will force you back to the plantation where that money is good. Smoke is saying, this is not the way America works. Stack, and what is the name of his character, his girl's character in the movie?
Annie.
Annie.
Yeah.
Annie.
Misaku? Yeah.
Stack and Annie are saying this is
Smoke and Annie. Or no.
Stack and
You're
Annie.
right. You're right.
Yeah, Stack and Annie are saying that's the way things are here.
Yeah.
Right.
That develops into them needing more money.
But
which
also
is
in the
why
beginning-
she has to leave.
But also in the beginning of the movie, a genius bit of writing is like we learn so much about Stack because he comes back, he's the big gangster, whatever, coming back to his hometown. And when he sees the girl and he's like, yo, lay on the horn, he's teaching her like a teachable moment about like smoke.
Yeah.
This is how you negotiate.
Right.
You know, he's like,
it's like 20 cents isn't going to do it.
And you realize you're like, oh, there's something good in him. There's something where it's like he's learned something traveling the world. He's learned something being in Chicago. And he's trying, to your point, he's trying to get his people to realize like,
the American way.
This is the new American way.
Right.
It's the American dollar. And to your point, they're still like, even Annie's like, yo, do you still believe in this shit? And the funny thing is like, not only does she believe in it, her protection, like that belief is what protects him at the end. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I forgot that he was wearing the mojo. And when his brother is trying to bite him, I'm like, fuck, like hell yes.
But also
that
he could,
Wumi Masako in that movie, incredible,
amazing,
incredible. She adds like so much heart and so much emotion.
What were you about to say?
Depth. No, I'm saying first of all, she's sexy.
She was.
That's the first thing.
Wait, no, whoa!
First of all, she's sexy.
Why would you start there?
I don't care, bro. That's a beautiful.
You're not wrong. But we
she's sexy. Secondly, this is what I'll also say. The love story in this film that has been marketed and portrayed to people is the story between Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld in the movie, and that's okay because there's a lot of heat and chemistry between them. Sure. However, the defining
heart of the movie.
Connection is between Wumi Masaku and Michael B. Jordan's character of Smoke.
Yeah.
It's between Annie and Smoke.
She gets just as much screen time as Haley.
She does. That the defining, when I think about the thing that grounds the movie and the relationship that grounds the movie, you might be able to sell Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan on a poster for People magazine and all of that stuff like that. I think it's very interesting, though, that when you watch the movie, the relationship that is actually the most formative to the movie and actually the movie is oriented around
most formative, most defined, like that's the relationship. Like the one with Preacher Boy and Perline, you know that's new. The one with Haley and Stack, you're like, you see the vision, you like understand like what they've been through. Like it's kind of short, but once he goes down to her little house and he puts down the flowers.
Once he goes down, I thought we was talking about something else.
Oh, that happens a lot.
I mean,
that happens a lot in this movie.
Happens a lot.
There's some eaters in
this movie's a Lil Wayne song. It's great.
Yeah. Let me finish my point. But he goes down, he lays down the flowers by the little thing, and you understand, like you immediately get what's going on between him and Annie. Yeah. And they have like a past that is just filled with pain.
They've suffered.
They've suffered and still find a way to come together at the end. It's still nuts.
Can I ask y'all, because I've been trying to like parse out, because also what's very bold about this movie is the relationship between Stack and Haley Steinfeld. I was like, what is Coogler trying to say here? Because Haley is asked to do a very interesting thing where she's 1/8 Black. She's grown up in this community. You could tell everybody knows her mother, and accepts her, but there is a level of Stack's like, you made it out. You married a white man. This ain't safe for you. You don't want any parts of it. And she so desperately wants to be there. And for her to be the character that essentially brings the vampire element in.
It's a Dr. Umar thing. But think about it.
Very layered.
It's a layer.
It is, but think about it though. She was sent out to communicate with the white people.
Yes.
She was sent out to communicate with them. She was sent out to get what they had. They have money. And when they came in, the first thing she says when she becomes a vampire is we gonna kill all of y'all. So she goes out to, inside of that barn is community.
Yep.
And they're actually talking about it. Inside of that barn is community. There's legitimate and sincere cultural inspiration. It's people's pain being played with the guitar. There's love making, there's connection being made. It's people that, even in the conversation between Smokestack and Annie, they work so hard and they are unsung. The only thing that they have to spin are wooden nickels and plantations. It's all in there, but it's real. Outside is something completely different. Outside of it represents the world. She brings them back in, and then everybody has to die. And the only person that's left is Sammy, and he has to play that pain for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what he has to offer the world.
Yeah.
The blues. The best day of his life that turned into the night where everyone that he knew and loved was killed. But besides.
But I also even thought it was interesting. Remick,
we haven't talked about yet, who's fantastic.
Who's fantastic, the lead vampire.
Jack O'Connell.
You also have this interesting conversation about religion, because he's even like, Sammy Preacher Boy is, do I go with the blues? Do I go with religion, with Christianity? And Remick is just like, that shit was brought to me as well. This isn't even a part of y'all. Like, what Preacher Boy is trying to connect to is something that is way more ancestral, is way more about his people and where they come from in this lineage. And you have his father being like, hey, stay in this, give him the medicine of Christianity.
Real quick, Steve.
Mhm.
This is the part of the movie that at the premiere was most interesting to me.
Wait, specifically, you're talking about the Piercing the Veil musical sequence.
No.
No, not talking about that
I love
yet.
that though.
Okay,
I
we'll
love
talk
that.
about that. There's a
talk
lot
about
to say
that.
I
there.
got one note.
I got a lot of notes.
So, at the end of the film, when Preacher Boy has fully been accosted by Jack O'Connell's character, Preacher Boy begins to pray.
Oh, yes, this.
And when he begins to pray, there is a moment of hesitation where you think that perhaps this prayer will save him. And do you know what happens? All of the vampires start praying with him.
They pray with him.
And you realize that that has no effect on him. That's a statement. You realize that has no effect on him. That's not going to affect him. That is not in the theater in LA. It's a black theater, right? It's a black event as far as the premiere was. It wasn't a black event, but a lot of black people there. People started clapping when he started praying. And then they very quickly realized that was not going to save him. And when the vampires start praying with him, you go, oh shit, Preacher Boy has to save himself.
Yeah.
Like, this is not your show me a cross, the power of God compels you type of situation. Now, I do not know what's trying to be said right there.
I actually kind of really like this because it's only because like there's I think the on the face thing is like God won't save you, you have to save yourself. That's a like on the nose reading of it, but also it's this thing where religion can also be distorted and like inflicted upon you as a way of like keeping you and assimilating you into something that you actually will be distorted into something terrible. He said it himself when he was like, I once, like, these words were forced upon me and I hated them, but I also found comfort in them. And you can find comfort in us too. I like that, what he said at the end, where it's like, okay, well, we'll pray with you if this gives you comfort in being with us. Because we can be all things.
See, I think they were mocking him.
I actually don't think that.
Oh, see, I think when he started praying, he was like, the words still bring me comfort, but I think they were mocking him. I think they were going like, that doesn't hurt us.
Well, and again, this is like the kind of great like seduction of the vampire that can actually, that like the vampire lore actually is like pretty good and well represented in this movie to make you think that like the person that's hunting you, the vampire that's hunting you, actually empathizes with you and like has a cause to hunt you, and like you have to actually let that like evil and hate in order to be like, you know, taken over for it, dominated by it. I like the idea that him kind of like trying to assimilate himself with Preacher Boy, to pray with him, to empathize, like, hey, you're being oppressed just as I was. Like, the Protestants came and took these things away from me and forced these words upon me. If you get comfort out of it, we can be that comfort with you and live a long time. Like, and it was the same type of bid that he made to the entire party, where it's like, you guys are getting fucked over. You can live with us and survive and thrive in a different way. And I think that he might actually earnestly mean that.
I don't think he does. I think he's trying to expand his coven. But
to a guy that's lived forever and like probably has lived through like the Protestant revolution of like what, the 1600s, and like probably was turned by a vampire that might have said the same thing to him.
He's hungry.
I understand.
I think, but this is the magic of the movie.
Yeah,
religion, race. All these subtexts are in the film
effortlessly,
and it doesn't feel bogged down.
Yes,
it's not heavy-handed. The whole thing, you could, again, like you said, you can watch it as a musical, you can watch it as a horror movie, you can watch it as an action movie, but at the same time, there's all these themes interwoven into the film that even if you're not paying attention, you can still see underlined in the film. And if you like start picking them on, like, oh, we talk about race for 30 minutes, we talk about religion for 30 minutes, like the whole thing is just so well threaded that it just makes this movie feel so complete.
Isn't that the mark of a good vampire movie? Because like vampires are always saying something. There's like a level of like, what is this saying about society or whatever? And at every single point, Ryan Coogler is taking the popular conceptions of what we know about the vampire, of like, what does inviting a vampire into your home mean for a sawmill full of black people?
Yeah.
What does it mean, our version of these vampires, to kill them? What does it mean that it's white people who are coming to turn us into vampires, but they're all, once you're a vampire, we're all controlled by the same mind. Right. We're all under the same, I was just like, oh.
We feel your pain, you feel mine.
Exactly. Like there's ways where I was just like, oh, you just weren't making a dumb vampire movie here. Like, I'm using what we know about, and that's what all good sci-fi movies are. All good alien movies, everything. You're just like, it's not just an alien movie, it's telling us something deeper. And I was like, that's what I thought was so brilliant.
And again, doesn't explain the vampire stuff. He's like, you know what vampires are, you know what we do, you know how you kill them. We don't even have to waste time with that. We get into it. I thought that was really smart too. Like, obviously, you got to invite them to cross over, the garlic, the wooden stakes, the silver bullets. You don't need to like spend like 5 minutes. All right, here's how we kill these guys. This is like, no, we know ball.
Yeah. If we didn't have to invite them, we would have to have Blade. See, this is the thing. Because here's the thing. The Blade.
Where was Blade?
The Blade vampire. So we don't need Blade, right? Because the Blade vampires, they don't have to be invited in. They'll just come in your shit.
Well, they're daywalkers as well, so they can like.
What are you talking about?
Well, are you talking about Blade himself or the vampires in Blade?
The vampires in Blade.
Okay, yeah.
So, but they don't have to, because like they don't need to be invited in. So in that world, we got to have Blade.
Yeah.
Because we got to have somebody killing these motherfuckers, or we toast. Right?
I'm gonna be honest. If these vampires in this movie, I'd be fine. I'm just like, oh, all you telling me is I just got to stay inside and not invite anybody into my home? I do that shit already. You know what I'm saying?
Tell you something. I mean, like we move on, but this I'll tell you something. Okay.
Yeah, but Haley Steinfeld's on the other side of the.
Number one, there are a couple things about these vampires. Number one, they don't have super strength. Okay.
Yeah. No.
All right. So we scrapping. You know what I mean? Like like we scrap. No. I mean, if you have to fight,
Smoke was giving Stack the He's like, fuck this shit.
But also, like, you shot Haley how many times? She was like, bet.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is you got a chance, though.
Yeah.
Right? You got a chance.
Yeah.
All right. And also, terrifying scene from the Colin Farrell Fright Night. You have to invite him in.
Oh, yeah.
But do you remember what he did? He ripped up the gas line.
Right, yeah.
Oh! So like in the Colin Farrell Fright
leave.
Night, in the Colin Farrell Fright Night, rest in peace, Anton Yelchin, he's inside the house and you have to be invited in, but Colin Farrell's like, fuck it. He went into the thing because he got and he was ripping up the gas lines and about to light the fucking house on fire.
If he didn't come out.
If you don't come out.
I mean, I was pissed at what was the woman, the Chinese woman who owned the store, when she started screaming and let him. I was like,
Star-Lord.
Did a star?
She pulled
the Star-Lord.
Oh my God, Grace
Star-Lorded us.
I'm like, put a socket.
I don't know, man. That's your daughter, man. You got to slide for your daughter.
I understand.
Grace, I would have the minute Grace started yelling, I'd have thrown Grace outside the motherfucking
like
bar.
Jazz.
Bye, Grace. Get the fuck out of here. You want to go fight? Go fight.
But here's the thing. I felt bad for her husband because I've been in that same exact situation where I've been with a girl. She's just like, all right, we gotta leave. Yo, go get the car. I'm like, they shooting outside. I don't want to go outside.
I got the car ready.
I'm like, I'm not going outside.
That nigga came back in so smooth.
Yeah.
That nigga came back. Hey,
Like, hey,
baby.
come on. He's like jiggling the
Hey,
keys.
baby, jiggling
Like,
the
where you
keys.
go?
Let's go. Oh, that's nothing. Don't worry about that. He's just hungry. She's like,
just the
she's
dude's
like,
face getting ripped
you
off.
don't fucking care that cornbread is fucking eating this guy.
He's like, it's all right,
By
baby.
the
No,
way,
that's regular.
The acting post vampire transformation in
Great.
the movie is
So
fantastic.
good.
good.
Also,
Really
the
good.
red eyes were so
Such
effective.
a simple,
Dude,
great
and-
little effect.
And that's crazy because Coogler talked about this. That was inspired by
Puss
the
in Boots,
Puss in
Last
Boots
Wish.
movie, The Last
Yeah.
Wish.
Wait,
He's locked in.
also, we have to talk about before we get to the Midnight Meter. So, I had some nitpicks.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
being a knitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people love this scene where it starts off great. We got Preacher Boy.
Mhm.
He's finally letting loose. He's at the jukebox. It's this shot, like everybody's dancing. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful.
And
This
it's shot
is
in
beautiful.
IMAX, too.
This is great.
Yeah.
Then a nigga starts crumping from like 2010. I was like, ugh.
See? So here's the thing, right? Everything about that scene, the crumpet was fine.
I was like,
The
they start shaking
guitar,
hands.
the DJ, the twerking was that was
twerking,
what I
I
was
was
like,
like,
all right. Because again, the movie does such a good job of immersing you in there.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yo,
Why you laughing, man?
this is 1939. We're in Mississippi, man. I'm locked
They
in.
start jerking.
And then
I'm like, get
I'm
these
like,
niggas out of here.
ah! I'm like, oh, wait. I'm like, it literally wakes me up out of the trance I'm in. I'm like, oh, whoa, this is I'm in the theater right now.
I liked it.
So, okay.
I like
I liked it.
understand.
It's a little corny. It's a little.
But not to. It's not okay. So I would say this is why I like it. Because on its face, this is a safe movie.
Yes.
Because so
Yeah.
on its face, this is From Dusk Till Dawn. It's Tales from the Crypt,
Mhm.
Demon Night. On its face, this is
It's a meat and potatoes vampire.
horde
story.
of
Yeah.
vampires outside. But the movie has something more to say, and it never ever shies away from saying it.
Yes.
We gonna eat pussy when it's time to eat pussy. We gonna twerk when it's time to twerk. We gonna sing when it's time to sing.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ryan Coogler, and also, once again, that goes far.
Mhm.
It does go far. However, narratively, Sammy's playing is what alerted Ramit
Yes.
to the
Yeah.
fact that they were there.
No. I think it works. Like, I like the scene from a story perspective.
Yeah.
It was shot beautifully. A lot of people have come out of the movie being like transformed by that scene, talking about it. And like, I don't want to take anything away. It's just, I wouldn't be Coke Baby if I was a little bit like, I was like, all right. A little corny.
It was literally just like, I mean, like, again, I'm so into this world. I'm so locked in on what's going on. I see them shaking ass in the corner. I'm like, I've seen that. I was just at the club last week. I just seen
Right.
that.
Yeah, they could have. I wanted there to be like more ass being
So,
shaped. They
like
coulda-
like Tiptoe shit.
I think they could have gone further.
Gone farther.
Like I know some, people that you could put in it. Cougs, if you're gonna do a scene that goes to twerking, that's first of all, I like that thick shit. But if you're gonna go to that scene, but like
Aleya, we let you down.
let us
Why?
see the twerking. I want to see it.
Wait. We do have to talk about how horny this movie was. Because I was not, I didn't,
It's 8 week 32. We
Yeah.
fucking.
no, that's not what I'm saying though. But again, you come in, it's a vampire horror film, right?
Mhm.
And I like a lot of fucking.
Vampires are horny.
Yeah,
Yes.
vampires are. Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I don't know how the new blacks do it.
The new
The
blacks.
new,
I don't know why you hate
don't
I don't
new
know
blacks,
what
D.
the
new blacks.
Don't new blacks,
The
But
new
D.
blacks.
But I'm from the South, and we dance, sweat, and fuck.
Well, what she was just like, yo, let me wash up for us. Preacher Boy, like, don't
Don't even worry about
don't even
that.
worry about that.
Yo, no, bro.
I was
okay,
like, my nigga.
That was fine. He had that on. That was fine.
you.
He was
And
looking.
then later,
Boy,
when he
no.
goes, when Smoke is just
Let me
like, hey,
taste
yo,
his-
guess that.
Ooh.
Preacher Boy runs over there. He sees him fucking. He's like, hey, shit, I can't. Smoke like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to.
The one that got me was when Haley comes back after getting bit, and she's like flirting with
Oh, it's the-
Stack, and she's like, "So you can rob rob banks and steal cars, but you can't steal this pussy. And literally, the three black women sitting right next to me went, oh! I was like, hey man,
Yeah.
Stack, I cannot blame you, bro.
I think you were a hot mess at that drool scene.
That would well, hold on. That was crazy.
Oh, Haley Steinfeld could drool.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't condone the behavior because I definitely do condone the
do.
behavior. I condone it and I understand it.
You condone and understand.
I condone and
Even
understand.
When Smoke pulls up on Annie, he was like, "Don't make me say it." I was like, she grabs Eddie. I was like, "Dog, I can't be."
Wow,
That can't be.
that was.
I was like, she grabbed me.
It's so funny.
She said that in French, like your body did not forget me.
I am really interested to see how a generation that seems so averse to the sex scene, because we've talked about the sex
Right.
scene before,
Yeah.
kind of deals with this much sex, no nudity,
No, just sex.
but just sex, which makes the sex scenes almost more powerful.
oh yeah,
Being that like you're not getting gratuitous nudity, but you are getting people who have a real desire for one another.
I think what it is as one of the young folk, people are always like it's unnecessary and things like that. I think for this movie, it's absolutely necessary. I mean, we can specifically Stack and Mary, like that's how he gets bit. Like that's very formative. For Annie and Smoke, they love each other. Like they're in love. That's them after him being away for so long, showing how much they care about each other. And for Preacher Boy, that's him losing his innocence.
Yeah.
Right? That's him finally going over. Like he's spent all this time with his cousins. Like I imagine in his head is like, hey, this is what Stack would do, man. Stack would say some fine
But
line.
what I love about it is because of like vampires, traditionally sex is a part of it. I love that all of those scenes have to deal with all of these characters denying themselves something.
Yeah.
Where they've all been away, whether it's Preacher Boy with religion, whether it's Smoke having to come back and like, he's not just having sex with this woman that is like random to his life. They had a child together. He left this woman, and there is still something.
They're longing for each other.
This longing, and then like every single time a sex scene happened, like even with Stack and Haley, I was just like, oh, Stack is trying so hard to do actually what he believes is right, which is you will have a better life if you pass as white, if you marry that white man. This is dangerous. And the minute he succumbs, it's just like, oh, you a vampire now.
Yeah.
Which brings me to what were you saying?
Oh no, well, and when he visits the grave in that first scene, like he'll still deny himself like falling back into that love with his old flame.
Yeah.
And she just pulls him
talking
right
about
back.
Smoke or Stack?
Smoke.
Okay.
Excuse me. He wants to deny that because like that's a lot of pain that he wants to avert himself from. And that denial and then the subsequent seduction of the vampire to give everybody what they think they want just to ensnare them is like the perfect execution of a vampire story.
I was crying real quick though. And I don't know if it's the funniest scene, but it was funny to me in the theater when they hear Sammy and Perlene going at it. And he's like, yo, we got Stack, like we got to get in there. And you can see like on a dime, he hears him. It's like, my nigga, man. Hey, my little man.
Yeah. That's how I want to. That's what I long to feel for you, Jomi.
Saturday. Let's go.
Saturday.
Wow.
My little guy, my younger brother found that button.
All right. No, let's talk. Before we go,
said,
let's talk about the mid-credit scene.
Okay.
Oh, that's your nit?
That was a nit for me as well.
No, I liked it. I thought, because I can understand the movie ending with him going off and finding, like, you know, whatever. Like, knowing that, like, not only did he go out and, like, make his own thing, like, he achieved something, right?
Sure, yeah.
And to see Stack alive was, like, holy, oh crap.
I loved all that.
Coming back from
this motherfucker didn't need to be in the Coochie.
Coming back from a Dots Effects concert.
It's the 90s.
I was like, all right.
We supposed to be wearing a Jordan jersey?
Number one, I mean, you just needed the wardrobe.
You should have honestly looked like Pac. That would be
the wardrobe there is important to let you know the era we're in. I thought it was interesting just that they, number one, that they escaped, and number two, that he honored his brother's wish.
Yeah, sure.
I think there's something innate within both of them, which is like, I literally a mirror image of me. Like, if my brother's like, "Yo, don't do this," I will do that. I'm alive because of him. I'm going to, I won't say live for him because he's like actually dead, but like honor that last request. From
I
his
mean,
brother.
there is also a very spicy read of that mid-credit scene because Stack kind of says something beautiful where he's kind of being like, yo, that night was the last time that day was the last time I saw the sun, the last time I saw my brother. And for him to become a vampire, for him to run away with Mary, for him to assimilate, to survive, there's something that he left behind. He left behind the South. He left behind his roots.
Well, he didn't have a choice.
He didn't have a
She did it to his dumb ass.
But
Yeah.
he could have done what Annie asked for, which was like, yo, if I turn,
Right.
instead of being assimilated, instead of like losing that part of like the music and the culture and the spirits, I'd rather you kill me. Like, I'd rather cross over, because what does she say? She says, like, vampires, your soul is stuck. You can't cross over. You can't commune with something that is so important to our people. And I do think that's why I would love to see a sequel of like, what happens to Stack when he denies himself that part of his life? He can never go
Interesting.
back.
That's interesting that because I was making the joke in the theater. I was like, post-credit scene, man, Sinners 2, baby.
And I was
You
like, yeah,
know?
what's going to lend itself to a sequel? What's going to lend itself to like having an important post-text? I did not realize that this was like the first thing they chronologically shot of this movie. This post-credit scene of them in this bar and like having Buddy Guy play the song. Frankly, if you have Buddy Guy and he'll play a song for you on camera, I'll just film that, and I don't care. I'll put it in the movie somehow.
Yeah.
I want a Bonnie and Clyde Sinners 2 with
I'll tell you exactly what I want. I want the Native Americans hunting vampires.
Yeah, the Native Americans. I could have used.
I want
more of
that.
them.
No, I
That's
appreciated
awesome.
them. Them indigenous people were like, the sun started going down.
Nah,
They're
we
like,
gotta make
y'all got
it.
this. Hey, y'all got this.
Yeah, you on your.
It's like, hey, you got 10 minutes. You can let somebody.
It's like the dude that you let in your house is a vampire. The homies was like, hey, fuck that one.
Yeah.
like we don't like.
And
You're doing a lot of like, hey,
guess
homie,
what?
Closing
you're doing a lot of
time.
work for her being what happened some years ago. Let's go.
Let these white
It's all
people find
going
them for
down.
themselves.
And then
man.
they gave a little shout when they left.
Like, you think maybe the ancestors of the Native American might be like, we got to get Stack and Mary out of here.
Oh no, they're gonna be looking for him.
Yeah, they gotta be.
Yeah, they're gonna
That's
be
the
looking
sequel.
for him.
Well, it's South Central LA.
No, that's gonna be that's like they're gonna be okay. I already went down saying they're gonna be looking for him. They're gonna be looking for him because that's the only thing I want to see now. Because if there's no Abraham Van Helsing, that's like that's
I'm not thinking big enough.
You're thinking
man.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire
I gotta
Hunter.
open your
Yeah.
third eye.
No, I'm thinking about Abraham Van Helsing.
Sinners.
You know who Abraham?
Yeah, Victor Von Helsing.
Wrong.
All right, now we gotta.
I'm
look this
thinking
up
about
now.
Abraham Van Helsing. Don't play with me.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Wrong. Who is
Oh,
Abraham?
it is Abraham. Okay. I thought it was Victor.
He cooked you.
Why do you always do this, Steve?
He cooked you. He cooked you.
Like,
I'm thinking of Abraham Van Helsing.
Great.
Of
The
Marvel.
Dracula's nemesis.
Yeah.
No, not of Marvel.
Well, no.
I'm thinking of Dracula's historic nemesis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Earth
it's time-
616.
okay.
Hugh
All
Jackman.
right, it's time
I'm
for the
looking it
Midnight
up.
Meter.
Wait, hold on.
It's time for the Midnight Meter.
We gotta get to the Midnight
Blade
Meter.
not showing up. Y'all don't want to see Blade and Sinners
Fuck
too.
Blade. I don't want to see no Blade movie now. Fuck that shit.
We don't get Ryan Coogler to direct Blade. Like, hey man,
Hell no.
Here's $6
Why would I want him to go
billion.
back to the trenches?
we gotta stop. We gotta stop this, man. We gotta stop the.
Blade versus Stack. Blade to fuck Stack up. Stack ain't got no powers. Oh, he
Yeah.
might now because he's getting older.
Also, the movie's supposed to be like a horror movie, and like I don't like that stuff, but it was like totally fine for me. The one scene that did get me was when Haley was walking back and then
And
he
he
started
floats.
floating. I was like,
Oh,
that's
yeah, the
scary.
floating
I was
was.
like, oh,
The floating was there. Like, is a
I
couple
also
of jump
hate
scares.
that type of floating where it's
Yeah.
like, it's just like, whoop.
Yeah, it just
That
gets
shit-
pushed out of the
just went,
sky.
"Ooh," I was like, oh shit.
All right, guys. Midnight Meter, proprietary technology. You know what it is. 1 to 10, normal scale. 1 being dog shit, 10 being amazing, 11, 12, fucking game changers, mint boys. Where you at?
I went first last time. It's all you, buddy.
This will be a 10 for me.
Yeah.
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 10. Time's gonna tell on this one, but I
like
think
that.
if like Sinners will endure for years to come if this is the trend that Hollywood goes on. Like the importance of this movie in a time where like Marvel's on the back foot and we have this like original IP that's gonna be like
I thought we wouldn't. I thought we wouldn't mention Marvel. I was hoping we did.
I mean, we was always going to get a
Is
Blade
it-
joke in there, but
Yeah.
then he went and was talking about the slop.
Well,
and
but
all
it's this
that.
original IP that, like,
True.
from a
Steve's right.
big prominent director,
Steve's
then
right.
like it's going to be a statement of a movie.
Yeah, until it becomes, we get the Sinners HBO show,
That's fine.
and then everybody's complaining.
Well,
Hey.
we're here now. And in order to be IP, you have to be P.
Exactly.
You have to be property.
But hey, Coogler's getting it back in 25 years.
Just made that up. Jomi?
I'm going to go with 11.
Mhm.
I think that this movie does something, again, that we haven't seen in film in a long, long time. And it's kind of reminiscent to Get Out in a way of, like, it's not like, obviously not his first directorial debut, but you're watching a movie and you think you know what you're getting out of this film, and it's something completely different. The movie has something to say about a lot of things, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. And we're gonna like argue about, like, how much money the movie's gonna make. But at the end of the day, I think this is a special effort from a special director with a special cast, and the entire thing is something that we're gonna look back on and go, that was a moment that was special. So I got to go at 11.
12.
Wow.
I think a 12's fair.
Yeah.
The only reason I can't go 12 is because I don't know how much bread this movie's gonna make.
Yeah, the only thing would be the game changer element.
I think it has an aspect
No,
of
no,
that.
it's good. I just think it's too early to see if it is a game changer. But
I just don't
I'll
know if it's
explain
gonna make the money that
on my
a
own.
12 should make.
Okay, the reason why I say it'll be a game changer is because this movie is it will be super successful.
Yes.
But it's also incredibly important in breaking the curse of some of the IP spell that has been on us.
Yeah.
And what I mean is changing the game to me is, of course, how popular something is, of course, how culturally relevant something is, of course, how it penetrates pop culture, but also when it goes against the grain in order to have a real impact in the marketplace and culturally. This movie is a game changer because it is distinctly musical, distinctly cultural. It is unfiltering and unflinching, and it will still win. It doesn't compromise at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't compromise one iota, but it will still be the big deal that it should. It's a game changer in terms of its critical reception, the reception from audiences. I'm going 12. Instant 12. Insta 12.
That's what
Right.
I
Well said.
I'm not mad about it.
By the way, I understand that an Insta 12 is controversial because, sometimes 12, maybe 12 only in retrospect, but I'm going Insta 12.
Sure. That's fair.
This movie is
6.
everything. I always complain about.
6.
Well, I'm not
Come on.
going fucking 6.
6. I want to hear it.
All I'm gonna say is, I'm known as a hater, and people are always like, "What do you want from shit? What do you want? What?" And this is the type of movie where it's like, I
wagon.
want directors and actors to tell their stories, to be ambitious, to leave it all on the fucking screen. This is not a perfect movie, but it doesn't need to be because it has so much heart, and I want more Black artists to be given this opportunity because I think if you give Black women this opportunity, Black men this opportunity, we will start you're going to reinvigorate this shit again. And I'm so proud of Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. They did an amazing job. So I'm going to go with the strongest 10 possible.
Wow. Strong 10.
Hey,
You guys, Sinners is a hit. It's a triumph. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Give it up for Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Coogler, man, Wumi, Haley, Jamie,
Haley,
everybody
Jay,
involved,
Delroy
man.
Lindo,
Yes.
Miles Canton.
Everybody.
Fantastic. Ludwig.
Everybody, man. The triumph.
That's a wrap this week on the Ringiverse feed. This Monday, Midnight Boys will give you their reactions to the second episode of The Last of Us,
Hell yeah.
or I like to call Plucking and Fucking.
Oh,
Also on Monday, the House of R gives you their deep dive. And on Wednesday, Andor returns. We are back.
the most
Andor
back
is
we've
back.
ever been.
so good, baby.
And we were going to react to it. Our producers are John Jones. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Give it up for
Appreciate
John.
you, John.
everyone.
Yeah, John.
Aleya, Zenieris, Jonathan Kermah, Jomi, explain Adeniran. Hashtag Jomi be milking.
1/8 black. It's chocolate milk now.
It's
Oh,
chocolate.
it's not
milk.
chocolate.
Chocolate milk.
It's chocolate with a dash of cinnamon.
Yeah.
I know it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
It's a little.
you know what I mean? Like, you know how if you don't, you drink the Nesquik, but it's still some chocolate.
don't
at the
stir it?
bottom.
It's
you
like
don't stir it,
when
yeah.
you like eat chocolate cereal,
Oh my
then you drink
God.
the milk afterwards.
Oh, daddy. And Jomi be milking Jomi brick on a social. An additional production from Arjuna Ramgopal. Chuck, take that.
Sinners is a hit. We not picking cotton or silk. And today, I turn to Jomi because I too am on the milk.